All right, we are looking at parallel lines and transversals here. This is a very important concept. We're looking at parallel lines, skew lines, parallel planes, transversal, interior angles, exterior angles, consecutive interior angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior, and corresponding. So we got the first ones here. We got parallel lines and what they're kind of looking like. Parallel lines are coplanar. They do not intersect, so they're on the same plane and they never touch each other. Skew lines are lines that do not intersect and are not coplanar. That means they're on different planes and they never touch. Parallel planes, planes that never touch. Transversal angle pair relationships. So for this one, this is where we start getting into the idea, and then we'll link it to the parallel lines. So let's link these and start to work with them to become familiar. So interior angles, let's start with that first. Interior angle, interior means inside. So we're looking at the inside angles, angles inside of what? Inside of these lines right here. They're cut by the transversal. The transversal is the one that cuts through it this way. So what angles are on the inside? Well, the inside is here. Inside is here. So what angles are on the inside here? We've got angle 4, angle 3, angle 5, angle 6. And that's what we have there. Next, let's look at exterior angles. Exterior, what does exterior mean? That means on the outside. Outside of what? Outside of the main lines we're looking at. So we're looking at these lines right here. And once again, it's cut by the transversal. What angles are on the outside? We got outside here. And you have outside here. There's two outsides. If this is the inside, these are the outsides. So what angles are on the outside? Can you see? That's the 7, 8, and the 2 and the 1. And that links together. Consecutive interior. Now, consecutive, the first part, let's change colors. Consecutive interior. Consecutive is talking about on the transversal. So this is the same side of the transversal. Same side of transversal. Remember, the transversal is the one I have in red here. Transversal. I'll go ahead and label it. So there's your transversal. So we're looking at consecutive interior. Consecutive is the same side of the transversal. Interior is on the inside. So we're combining two terms here. So which ones are on the same side of the interior? Well, same side of the interior, 3 matches with 6. They're on the same side of the interior. And 4 matches with 5. They're on the same side of the transversal in the interior. Alternate interior. Alternate interior. There's our interior. We're talking about the inside. And now we're talking about alternate. If consecutive means same side of the transversal, alternate means jump over. Transversal. So we're on the inside of these lines and we're jumping over the transversal. So inside, that would be 3, and we have to jump over. That would match with the 5 here. So 3 and 5 are alternate interior. What are the other two? If I start with 4, I would jump over and match with 6. So 4 matches with 6. alternate exterior. We've talked about all of these already. Now it's just kind of linking it together. So we got the alternate idea, jumping over the transversal, and we're on the exterior. So if I look at 2, if I match 2, what does 2 match with? On the outside, and I jump over the transversal, that's going to match with the 8 all the way over here. What about the 7? 7 on the outside, the exterior, and I jump over and I match with the 1. 7 and 1 match for alternate exterior. And the last one is corresponding. So for corresponding, it matches placement. So we try to look what matches the placement here. So we'll look, if I'm looking at this bottom right here, we got top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So I'll call that top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left, right? So corresponding means it matches the placement. If I pick this square up and plop it right down here, which one matches which? All right, so which one is this? This is top right. So top right matches what? 2 matches 6. 2 matches 6. Right here is top left. What does top left match? What does 1 match? 1 matches 5. It's in the top left also. Bottom left, that's down here. What does bottom left match? 8 matches with 4. And bottom right, what does bottom right match? Matches with the 3. It's like you can cut it out and place it on the other one to see which match. Match, corresponding, they match with the segments on, or the angles on the other part. Okay. Now, this is kind of the initial. Here's what really matters when we have parallel lines and angles. This is where we will spend most of our time. So they not only match, but they are equal here. So let's just go through each one and see how they're equal. This is what you're responsible for. So make sure you draw it just like you see here and how you have it matched. Corresponding angles. Which one are corresponding? Corresponding. Try to remember. That means matching. It's like I cut this one out and I place it right on top of here. So notice that this 8 matches with this 6. All right. So here's the key with parallel and lines and angles. Everything else is exactly what we've talked about. So here's the note here. Just make sure you're related. These are all now equal. Is that every angle here for angles and parallel lines cut by the transversal. There's my transversal. Here's my parallel lines. Parallel lines usually have the arrow on it to represent that they're parallel. Every angle on here is the same or adds to be 180 degrees. So every angle here is either the same, they're congruent, or it's supplemental. One angle plus the other angle, if you add them up, you'll get 180. So you can once you know one angle, you can find every other angle here by either saying it's the same or by subtracting it from 180 degrees. Okay, and the key for most of these, big is equal to big or congruent. Small angle is going to be congruent or equal to small angle. I spelled small wrong. And then if you're trying to find the other one, it's going to be big minus small. and then you'll find that will equal 180 degrees. Let's say we'll add them to be 180 degrees. So let's just do it that way, and then we can just subtract it from the 180 degrees to find it. So that would be big is equal to 180 minus small. And what do you think small is equal to? We're talking about the angles. Small is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus the big angle. Okay, so each one of these angles is either big or small, and notice they form that linear pair. So they're kind of like on a line. So they either match vertically or they're on that linear pair, and then you can match it to the other side there. Perpendicular transversal, perpendicular, that means everything is 90 degrees basically. And we got some examples here. And looks like they're not giving us anything else. Good. So that should be it. Hopefully that'll help you kind of match anything you need in this section.